Hello and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dan Caldwell. I'm the Executive Director of Concerned Veterans for America, and we are honored today to be joined by VA Secretary Robert Wilkie, who is joining us to talk about the VA Mission Act, which is a very important piece of legislation that will change how veterans get health care through the VA. Secretary Wilkie, thank you for joining us today.
Well, Dan, thank you, and welcome to the office. I'll say one thing right up front. We are being watched by probably my most famous predecessor, General Omar Bradley, and right behind me is the desk that he used when he led the Veterans Administration immediately after World War II, before he became the first chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So, a historic place.
Last year, President Trump signed into law the VA Mission Act, which is a comprehensive VA healthcare reform bill, and it's going to really revolutionize how the VA delivers healthcare to our veterans. Can you give us a broad overview of what the law does and what you all are doing to implement it at the moment?
Mission Act is the most transformative piece of legislation for VA since Bradley's day. What Mission does is it rectifies a wrong. That's the first thing that it does, by allowing those families who take care of our Vietnam veterans to have access to financial and educational resources to help them support those warriors from that era. I say it's one of the last loops that we have closed on that period of American history when so much wrong was done to those warriors who came back. The other thing that Mission Act does is that it opens the aperture of choice for our veterans. It says that the veteran is at the center of his health care, not the institution. For me, that is a liberty issue. By empowering America's warriors to take care of their own health care, not have the prerogatives of the bureaucracy overwhelm them, as bureaucracies tend to do with all citizens. So that's revolutionary in and of itself. But what it does say is that if a veteran cannot get a particular service from the Department of Veterans Affairs, then that veteran has the option of going out into the private sector to find that care. So we are changing the focus of VA away from the institution and toward the veteran and the veteran's family. The other thing that it recognizes, even though it's not in the legislation word for word, is that our veterans population is changing. For the first time since the fall of Saigon in May of 1975, more than half of our veterans are now under the age of 65. They're not used to the large institution of a VA hospital. They want answers that are quick. They want service that is closer to home. They have very different needs.
Secretary Wilkie, thank you for your time, and we wish you the best. You have a very important job, and especially next 3 months with the implementation of the Mission Act, it's going to be critical.